Yes, CK sacked.
Yeah, CK is a gunner. It broke, like you said, it broke a few minutes ago. Now, the FA or the GFA's executive committee was supposed to have met Friday. That meeting was postponed. And even heading into the meeting, there was a lot of speculation as to the future of CK Akonnor. Some people believe that he was going to stay. Some inside sources said he was going to leave. And it looks like it has happened. He has left the national team. Now, according to the GFA statement, they took that decision based on two reports, one from the coach himself and one from the Black Stars Management Committee after the two games against Ethiopia and South Africa were played. So it looks like everything that happened around the game or during the game and all of that helped the GFA come to this decision of parting ways with CK Akonnor and his two assistants. Well,
if we should base the sacking on these two games, I mean, you'd admit very uninspiring performance there. Yes, but did we really see the sacking coming?
It looked likely, to be honest. It looked likely. If there was a time where any coach was close to the exit, then it was after that performance against South Africa a few days ago. Fans were not happy at all. They didn't like what they saw. They thought that things could have been better or could have been done in a far better manner. But this had been building up to an extent because in CK's 10-game reign, people started to pick out various performances like the friendly loss to Mali, for example. People looked at the loss to Morocco in another friendly. People looked at the Ethiopia win. They looked at the South Africa result. There was just this general concern and this general vibe among followers of the team that something was just not right. The football wasn't that inspiring. And the manager, CK Akonnor himself, did admit in his reign that there were some issues with goal scoring, issues with fluidity of the play, issues with just how the team looked and felt. People felt that it just wasn't looking good enough. So you could tell that there were some issues. Some people would have said, give him time. He's only handled the team for 10 matches. There's an entire qualifying series to be played. He hasn't even tasted the tournament. But it looks like after everything that's been said in the public domain and the FA's own analysis of everything, they've decided to end that relationship now and figure out what the way forward is.
Right. Now, he's played 10 games, but the straw that really broke the camel's back was that game against South Africa a few days ago. And now, if we look at the timelines or the timing of his sacking really going forward, what does it mean for the senior national team? How soon should we expect an appointment of a new coach? And then, of course, he's leaving with his two assistants, so there's more work to be done, I mean, in appointing more assistants for a new coach.
That is true. The FA statement said that they've put together a 3-man committee headed by the FA's vice president, Mark Addo, and other members of the GFA to find a replacement or put together a new team or find a new team in 72 hours. So they have about 3 days to see who they can get. I don't know whether they'll bring in a caretaker team to handle the team because the next qualifiers is in about 3 weeks or so. We play 2 games against Zimbabwe in the World Cup qualifier. I don't know whether they'll bring in somebody on a permanent level or on a caretaker note and then think about how to handle the rest of the qualifiers. But they have been given 3 days, which is this 3-member committee. 3 days to find a replacement, a whole new technical team, and then prepare for that Zimbabwe game, which is sometime in October.
Right. The sacking of CK Akonnor obviously is going to revive the debate again about preference or choice for a foreign coach as against a Ghanaian coach. Really, from the dealings of the FA and, of course, the interaction between the FA themselves and CK, really, which way are they likely to
It's tough to tell. What I can tell you is that the FA will find somebody they deem competent to handle the job. And I think they will make that appointment irrespective of the person's skin color or where they come from. If it's a Ghanaian who is competent and the FA feels that that person is competent, the person will get the job. If they feel that an expatriate is competent enough, then that person gets it. I don't think that the FA would want to premise its decision primarily on where the person is from. I think they will look at competence because really that should be the bedrock of every decision. Can the person deliver? Can the person execute? If the person can, then I don't think where he or she comes from should be a problem. So we'll have to wait and see what happens. Of course, if you know some, you know inside stuff about the GFA, some people lean certain ways, others lean certain ways. But the overall consensus is that the GFA would want to appoint a far more competent coach because the FA is under pressure. Ghana has to make it back to a World Cup. We didn't go there in 2018. There's pressure on this team to go there. There's pressure on the team to perform at the next AFCON in January in Cameroon. So they will have to sit and find something that ticks those two boxes, doing well or making it to the World Cup in the first place, and then going to the next AFCON and seeing if they can end Ghana's over 40-year drought for an African title.
Now, finally, before you go, the implications of this decision on the playing body itself, the team, the footballers themselves, knowing that CK has put together, or consistency, brought together a number of players to play over 10 times, minus, of course, the last outing we saw against South Africa. Really, what does this do to the psyche of such players?
Well, I mean, footballers see these things they happen quite often in their own club careers. They will build a relationship with the coach, then the coach gets fired, a new one comes in. They will have to, I think for them, it will be a wait-and-see approach to see who gets appointed. And then what that coach will do is to get in touch with the captain, Andre Ayew, lay out his plans, and then he will rely on the captain to get the rest of the team to go along. And then they'll have to build their own relationship from scratch. So we'll just have to wait and see what the reactions will be. These days, in the age of social media, it's very easy to get a reaction from players. They will tweet or say something via social media. So we'll look at that. But I think what will happen away from the cameras and away from social is that whoever the new coach is, he will reach out to Andre Ayew, who's national team captain, lay out his plans, and then from there, the captain will have to communicate to the larger playing body and then try and bring the two parties together and see what kind of marriage the new coach and this new team can build over time, especially as we are 2 or 3 weeks away from playing 2 games against Zimbabwe, 2 very important games in the 2022 World Cup qualifiers.
All right, thank you very much.